How is it going, guys, and welcome to the Olufemi channel. We're a group of teachers that want to shore up your video production skills in as little time as possible.
What's up, guys? It's Quinn and welcome back to the Olufemi channel. Have you guys ever struggled with matching the color and look of your footage from multiple different cameras, or just general coloring of your footage? Because I have, and it is a pain. I'm a creator that hasn't taken the time to learn all the ins and outs of coloring. I'll usually just make a few little tweaks, sometimes apply a lot. So I'm always trying to find the quickest and easiest way to get my footage to look as good as possible. And I think we have found the solution. In this video, I'm going to show you an insanely cool program called SynMatch, who is the sponsor of this video, so shout out to them, that will match footage from a range of different cameras, but will also help make your individual footage look super cinematic. For example, if you shot something on your iPhone, you can use SynMatch to make it look like a red dragon camera. Let's say you shoot an interview on two different cameras. SynMatch will literally take a few clicks to match the color information of the cameras so it'll look seamless. Or let's say you're on a client shoot and you're shooting outside and your camera freezes or dies or your SD card fails. SynMatch would be a lifesaver for something like this because you can shoot it on your phone knowing that you can match it up in post. And what better way to put this hypothetical to the test than to go out and shoot a lifestyle commercial, half of it on my nice DSLR and the other half on my iPhone. So let's go outside and shoot a shoe commercial. Okay, so now we have our footage and we're gonna go ahead and take this over into post-production. And by the end of it, see how well SynMatch can match up our cameras. And we're gonna dive into all the things this program can do and how it can help you as a creator. So let's hop into Adobe Premiere and do a quick first glance at how this program works. Okay, so here we are in Adobe Premiere Pro. Here I have my two clips. This first one was shot on my iPhone using the Filmic Pro app in Filmic Pro's Log V3, but obviously you don't have to shoot that. You can also shoot it in your native camera app. And here is the footage I shot on my Sony a7 III. So as you can see, they look very different. So we're gonna just quickly run through how you can match up these two clips using SynMatch. So once you download and install SynMatch, it will appear up in your effects panel. So I'm gonna go ahead and type in SynMatch. So I'm gonna go ahead and drag this effect onto both clips. And then we'll start with our iPhone footage. So once selected, you can go into the Effect Controls panel and you'll see SynMatch appear here. First thing you want to do is select your camera source. So this is the camera that you shot with. For this, I'm going to select the Apple iPhone 12 and I'm going to select the Filmic Log V3. Click Apply. And then I want this to look like the Sony a7 III that I shot. So I'm going to go ahead and choose Sony a7 III, and I shot this on HLG Record 2020, but they also have like S-Log 3 and options that you will choose from depending on what color profile you shot in. Click Apply. So immediately you'll see that it applies that change of color profile from the iPhone to the Sony a7 III. And off the bat, it actually matches it up fairly well, as you can see. And from there, we're going to fine tune it a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and check off this Apply Rec 709 Transform. This is going to apply a basic color grading to make your footage look more cinematic. You can uncheck this if you want to color grade completely from RAW, but if you're looking for like a basic color grade, I would recommend selecting this. And then you have a bunch of options under here. So you have options with exposure, and then you have these guides with skin tones and middle grays to help you get your exposure right. And then you have your temperature and your tint. So you can white balance using this eyedropper. If you're selecting a part of the video that's white. You also have a temperature guide and a tint guide. And these are just great for making those fine-tune adjustments to get your footage to a neutral ground. For now, I'm gonna leave it as is because I think it looks pretty good. And then below this, you have your match refinements. I love this section because if there are little tweaks and colors that you wanna change, this is where you can do it. You have your hue, your saturation, and your luminance. So if I wanted to change the color of this green background here, I can select that and go ahead and change the hue or change the saturation or change the luminance of that specific color. What's great is you can target specific colors in the footage that you're trying to match up. So let's say I wanted to make sure that these greens are matching the same greens in my Sony footage. So what I would do is click the source, which is this green, and I would go over to my Sony footage, select my iPhone footage again, and select my target as this same green. And what that's gonna do is tweak the green so it's matching up pretty much perfectly. And then below this, you have your secondary controls. So you have color wheels, you have curves, levels, and below that, you have your standard controls, exposure, saturation, tints. So you can really pretty much do all your color grading within this one effect, which is nice. And then I'm gonna go into my Sony footage. I'm gonna choose my Sony camera, A7 III, apply. I'm gonna put the target to the same camera because we wanna add that basic color grade that we have on the iPhone footage. Now you don't have to do this since the target camera is the camera we shot on, so you can actually leave these two blank. But I wanted to show you the different options that you have and also how the color grade looks when you do set the target camera. So I'm gonna go ahead and check this off. And this is gonna apply that same color grade that was applied to the iPhone footage. I'm gonna go ahead and tweak my exposure a little bit. And so now we've matched up the color profiles of both of these clips. So you can see how good this looks going from the original using SynMatch, and we come out with this color grade. And by the way, I didn't have to color both of these to the Sony. I could color both of these clips, go in here and change their color profiles to look like a red dragon camera. So if I go to both clips, adjust my target camera settings, both to the red dragon, and if we look at the raw color profile, you can see how good of a job it does at matching up these two clips. So you can color them how you like, but the color profile is gonna look like a red dragon camera. And what's also great is you can use LUTs from your favorite creator or site or any camera that you own, even if the LUT wasn't designed for this originally. So basically you can convert your footage to match the look of these high-end cameras. For example, I believe I have a LUT already installed, so I'm gonna go ahead and select one of these LUTs that I have and apply it to both. And as you can see, it matches up perfectly and it looks really good. So that's the beauty of this, is that you can match up your footage, but if you shoot something on a Sony or you shoot something on your iPhone, you can go in and have it look like any camera that you want it to look like, these high-end cinema cameras. So now I can shoot something on my Sony, knowing that I can color it like an ARRI Alexa, and that alone is a game changer for me as someone who doesn't know how to color properly or who doesn't typically use these fancy cinema cameras. Or even if you are someone who loves to color grade, you can set this up and change your color profiles for any camera you like and still get that raw footage and that raw look to take your color grading creativity to the next level. So I just went ahead and I edited my spec shoe commercial that half of it was shot on my Sony A7 III, half of it on my iPhone, and I used SynMatch on all of these clips, not only to match the color profiles from both cameras, but also to make my footage look great and really cinematic. So let's play through this edit and see if you can pick out what shots were shot on my Sony and what shots were on my iPhone. So if you're a creator, you probably can just tell in the depth of field and the difference in just the quality between an iPhone and using a real DSLR with a good lens. But color-wise, and I think to the average non-creator, this would feel pretty seamless. And just the pure amount of time that this program saved me, going in, coloring the iPhone to somehow make it look and match up to the Sony, it's really amazing how quickly this program matched up my footage. And that is that. Let me know what you guys think. If you were to watch this without knowing that half of it was shot on a DSLR and the other half was shot on the iPhone, would you be able to tell the difference? Either way, SynMatch is a great tool. As you can see, that you may want to have in your tool belt of programs and things that help you to create the content you want to create. If anything, it'll save you a lot of time and energy so you can focus purely on the creative aspect of editing. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.